my name is Ima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Ndanzi versus Baloyi because my goodness, we'll be doing this until Jesus comes. Ucho uramsipil. Okay, so we'll be doing this until Jesus comes. Gesan. Aibo, what's going on in the courtroom of Judge Rata? What's going on? Yagodola fethu. Kapale abantu. Aibo sana. So this was supposed to be the moment the state breaks Undazi. The data is clean, the timeline is precise, the vehicle doesn't lie. But what happens when the machine says one thing and the man in the dock says something else? Because in that courtroom, Advocate George Baloyi thought he had finally cornered Bongani Ndanzi. He brought out the AVL tracking records. He tried to collapse the entire torture story in one move. But something unexpected happened. Ndanzi didn't break, Gesan. Ndanzi was like, hold on. Now, first things first. Guys, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for an entire advocate who's a graduate from Wits University, one of the top-notch universities in South Africa, to be dealt with by a standard 8 dropout. No shade to Ndanzi, but shade to Baloyi. No shade to Ndanzi, shade to Baloyi. Ndanzi, bravo, Sanalam, because okay, what is this now? Okay, Malum Kurt, Malum Cool Kurt. Now Ndanzi is becoming so cool. And Baloyi is becoming such an embarrassment to the entire legal fraternity. What the hell is this? What the hell is this, son? What the hell is this? So now, let's talk about the setup. He was trying to build a trap for Ndanzi. Let's go to that. Baloyi doesn't rush, right? He slows everything down because in his head, he's like, I'm going to handle him. I'm going to be able to break him now. I'm getting in there and I'm going to deal with him. He takes Ndanzi back step by step to his own evidence from 10 February 2026 with Oramsipil. And this one looks like, yabona la, it's surgical. Oh my God, unalanto, I want to believe Baloyi. He reminds Ndanzi, you said the car left the engine garage. You said you were taken somewhere else. You saw trees. You saw dustbin trucks, tar road, then gravel, a concrete area, a steel staircase, and then you were tied to a steel plastic over your head, water poured. That's not just movement, was right? That's a full torture location narrative, right? And now watch the strategy now comes in. Baloyi is doing one thing, man. He's locking Ndanzi into a detailed version, before introducing the contradiction. Now, that's what he was trying to do there. Hey, uyamazi kuxa akabuzange elangeni. Kangabuze elangeni. Okay. Now, this is a classic cross-examination under South African law, right? He's doing great. When a witness gives a version, you test it against prior statements, objective evidence, independent records. And here, the objective record, Baloyi, is the AVL system. It's supposed to be objective, right? A vehicle tracking system used by SAPS, right? That logs movement, stops, ignition on and off. And crucially, it has already been treated in court as a reliable, difficult to tamper with evidence. So legally, this AVL situation is powerful because if Ndanzi's story plus AVL data, then the state argues the story is false. If Ndanzi's story is not equal to the AVL data, then the state will argue the story is false or exaggerated or fabricated, which is what he did at the end. That's the entire strategy Baloyi that he was going for. And he did say Ndanzi is fabricating that story staircase, right? Now, the strike, the AVL moment, this is where it oh my goodness. Fuck off. Then it comes, Baloyi introduces exhibit MM2, page 31, time 1853-54. Location, Mali Street, Verwoerd Park Albertine, right? And here's the implication. And the vehicle stopped there. So now the silent question is in court becomes, does Mali Street look like the place Ntanzi described? Trees, maybe, dustbin trucks, maybe, still staircase, torture site. That's where the doubt begins. This is a trap, right? But here's the problem now. Here's the problem for Ubalo because he was trying to be smart, ne? He was very trying. Ocean, he was trying. Ntanzi does something very important. He does not overcommit. He says, I don't know the distance. I don't know the route. It was dark. It was my first time there. That is very critical, most for Ntanzi. It shows Usheli. He's very smart, was that one. Because now Baloyi cannot easily prove contradiction. Why? Because Ntanzi's evidence is descriptive, not precise. Experientially, not geographically. So I was Mchola Bando. He's saying, I know what I saw, not where I was. It's not. Do you understand what is happening there? So unless Baloyi proves that Mali Street could not match that description, there are no such features there in that street, that the vehicle never moved as claimed, then this is not a collapse. It's pressure, it's suspicion, but not yet contradiction. So Ubaloyi unyiswa umfana wakanongoma ke sana. Now this is where the courtroom battle is. This is where the case becomes bigger than one question, because now it's human memory versus machine data. The AVL is precise, and is recalling trauma. And the courts understand something very important. Trauma does not produce perfect timelines. So then, so the judge, Udrata Mukwatleng, is not going to be expecting, is he exact, but rather he's supposed to ask, is his version reasonable and possible? Which I felt like he thought so too. That's the standard also, not perfection, possibility. So Ntanzi fried Ubaloyi like nobody's business. I don't care. I don't care who comes where, who does what. Ntanzi dealt with Ubaloyi when Baloyi thought, yeah, I got you. I'm going to lock you in. Ntanzi was like, peace and Njani, it's not going to happen. So what happened here is that Baloyi tried to do something dangerous, collapse the torture narrative using AVL data, but instead, the gap between technical evidence and human experience, and right now, that gap is still open, Gesan. The trap was set, but Ntanzi didn't step into it fully, and Ntanzi still came out alive from that. Ubaloyi is still in Wonderland. I'm totally, guys. My bottom line is that Ubaloyi is trying, but Ubaloyi is failing at the same time. Yes, he's trying to do all of these things that he's doing, but he's failing because Ntanzi uthi, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm awake. You can't just expect to do me like that. You can't. It's not going to happen. Say, you better bring things that are real. Don't lie on me. Ntanzi is like, you're not gonna lie on me. You're gonna talk about things that really matter, things that really happened. You're not gonna make me to overcommit on things that I didn't do. No, it's not going to happen. Guys, to tell you that I am enjoying what is happening there, or to tell you, it will be an understatement, or to tell you that, yes, I'm irritated by the entire situation, but I'm enjoying how Ntanzi is dealing with Advocate Baloyi. I do not want to even lie to you. I'm enjoying all of it, and I'm happy that Ntanzi is capable of answering the way he does. I don't care who says what. Ntanzi is capable. Oh, Ntanzi is so capable, Sana. He's so capable. I don't care who says what. I don't care. At this point, I'm happy with Ntanzi's answers. Whether Judge Rata is gonna take Ntanzi serious or not, that's something else. But I'm happy. I'm so happy with Ubongani. I'm so happy. I do not want to lie. At this point, Mangenza noma yini abayifunayo, but Bongani is great. That's all I want to say. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.